I woke up. It was dark. I had the sensation that I was moving, but I was laying on a bed. My wrists and my ankles both had straps around them. I couldn't move. This monotone voice kept talking in my ear. It looked like a little white intercom-looking box that I could see to the side of my pillow. And I immediately thought I'd been kidnapped by a UFO. I was in and out of sleep, really deep sleep. I woke up again. The restraints were off. I had been informed by the aliens, Zeta and Zethra were their names, that I actually was part alien. My mother was my biological mother, but my father wasn't actually my biological father. I had a father from this alien planet. I was in the middle of a Christmas story that I'd heard every year since I was a child, that Joseph was like my dad, he took care of Jesus, but really the father of Jesus was God the Father.
We have an important mission for you. And the male companion you perform.
The mission was that I was to have a child, the child that would save the alien planet, by the time I turned 16. The box said if I couldn't perform the mission, they had a backup plan. That was my sister Susan, that she was also half alien and half human, and that she would be taken. And there you will meet the male companion. And there on the little couch of the motorhome was B. It was a person that I so loved and so trusted and was familiar to me. I wasn't alone anymore. It was like this huge relief. He was covered in blood. He was cut. He wasn't moving. His eyes were closed. He looked to me like he was dead. And so I'm crying and I'm shaking him and touching him. Wake up, wake up. You have to wake up. And so he comes to and he starts to tell me what had happened. We were driving out to go horseback riding, and all of a sudden I saw this white light coming down out of the sky, and the car started to vibrate and move and shake. We must have been taken by this powerful light. And I said, no, we're here, we're together, and there's a mission. I completely knew that he was the male companion, that together we're supposed to have a child. The whole thing of him being, this 40-year-old man and me being a 12-year-old girl was definitely strange. The whole thing was strange, but I also now felt like, well, I'm an alien. I'm strange. I'm not normal. I believed it absolutely. When you combine being isolated and completely afraid, you can pretty much get someone to do or believe anything. They took us to this Mexican prison. At one point, one of the Mexican police officers led me down into a lower level in this dank, dark, water-smelling hallway to B's cell. He gave the guard his gold ring in order for the guard to let him talk to me. B said, tell your family that I brought you on a vacation and that I made a mistake. I took you too far away. I didn't tell your family like I should have. He said, I've been visited by Zeta and Zethra. They came to me and they told me that there are 4 things that you can't talk about. I couldn't talk about them, Zeta, Zethra, the alien planet. I couldn't talk about the relaxing pills that I'd been given. I couldn't talk about the mission. And so therefore, I couldn't talk about any of the sexual experiences that we had had. He said, you will have no other contact with any other men, even with your dad. And if either of us talk about any of these 4 things, my sister Karen would go blind. And the threat against my father was that they would remove him. That's how they put it, which I knew meant they would kill him. And then, of course, the threat with Susan was that they would take her. And he said, your parents will probably come, but make sure that you don't tell them or anyone about those 4 things, or you will be vaporized. They have the power to take our lives and also to take our spirits. We won't even exist. For me, as this young girl who had always had a very strong faith in life after death, it was a terrifying thought. It was probably the thing that kept me obedient to what they wanted me to do more than anything.